Thursday, May 1st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Wanted to start off with a look from the Avalon Pier web camera this morning during the 5 o'clock hour. And you still have some pretty decent thunderstorms over near the coast, especially parts of the Outer Banks. I'll show you that on the radar in just a second. The temperature there in that portion of the Outer Banks is at 69 degrees with the south wind at 7 miles per hour. Humidity very, very high this morning. Some showers and storms around the coastal parts of North Carolina. Yesterday's highs made it into the upper 70s finally after the wedge broke away and eroded away across the Piedmont zone. 79 the high in Greensboro, 77 in Charlotte yesterday, 77 in Raleigh. Currently it is 60s in many spots outside of the mountains until you hit some 70s in some coastal areas. So the pattern is finally changing a bit. That big upper level low that's been parked over the nation's midsection all week is beginning to break down and lift to the northeast, and that means some drier air is eventually going to be working on in here from the west as we move forward in time. Now we have a cold front sliding through the region today, and still a few areas of showers and even a couple thunderstorms, especially the farther east you go in North Carolina today. This is what it looks like on the radar this morning. There's been a few showers around parts of the Triad region. And again, some thunderstorms closer to the coast through parts of the Outer Banks. Some very electric thunderstorms just southeast of Morehead City while I'm cutting this video, clipping up toward the southern Outer Banks. But again, overall, this system is beginning to wind down. Now, this was the radar from midnight yesterday morning all the way through the day yesterday until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And you notice all of the tremendous areas of rain and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. Now, that did a very effective job of blocking the moisture transport up into parts of our region. And that's why we had a much lower amount of showers and thunderstorms than originally expected. You just had that Gulf of Mexico flow of moisture cut off due to all that shower and thunderstorm activity that was so persistent along the Gulf Coast. Just an amazing rain event. These are 3-day rain totals, and you had some spots over 20 and even a couple spots over 24 and 25 inches of rain. Big flooding problems. Just a pretty horrible situation in some spots down that way. Now, on the other hand, again, with that moisture transport cut off, you had some spots in South Carolina and North Carolina that had no rain over the past 72 hours. The greatest totals over there over the eastern part to the state, and of course some of that was with some pretty intense and even tornadic thunderstorms as we went through the first few days of the work week around the Triad area. Most folks picked up 1/3 to 1/2 of an inch with some localized higher amounts mixed in. All right, so cold front sliding through the region, a few showers, maybe a couple of isolated thunderstorms as you head east today. But drier air is working in. Now, there'll be a quick little chance of a few other rain showers in the eastern parts of South and North Carolina tomorrow. But in time, the dry air takes over region-wide as we get into the weekend, and the weekend forecast looks fantastic. Now, next week, this is the upper level pattern off the GFS model. And we start off the week kind of a northwesterly flow aloft that probably allows a little cold front to make it to right about there. And so in the northeastern parts of North Carolina, you may see some shower or thunderstorm chances Monday or Tuesday, but in time, certainly a big ridge develops overhead next week, and this is just a sampling of the European model temperatures as you get toward Thursday and Friday. The warmth building on in here looks like certainly a pretty warm week overall next week, especially as you get toward the second half of the week. So this is what it looks like on the more detailed upper level charts off the European model. This is today. Again, this big upper level low finally breaking down as you get to tomorrow. Again, that last little piece of energy moving through that may bring coastal parts of the Carolinas, a little bit of rain. And then, again, this is what Tuesday, that ridging over the Mississippi Valley develops eastward and is right overhead then for the Thursday and Friday time period of next week, and that means some warm and dry weather. So today, there's your front causing some rain moving on through, and then again, this is out toward Monday evening, and you see with that next little front kind of nosing into the parts of the region from the north, parts of Virginia, West Virginia and northeastern North Carolina having the chance of a few showers or thunderstorms. And, we'll see how far that front makes it. But for the time being, for the Triad and the Charlotte zones, I'm leaving the forecast Monday and Tuesday dry. And then we get that big ridge developing overhead next week. That's a very warm setup by Thursday and Friday. Check out the GFS model, and if you look carefully here, you can see there's an area of high pressure centered right there. And that is cranking the south and southwesterly flow here across our region. Very quickly before I wrap up the video, there were the final storm reports from yesterday. Not a whole lot. I had some sporadic wind reports, but that was about it. But the lack of instability and moisture allowed to work up our way from the Gulf of Mexico just was not a big deal overall in terms of severe weather in most spots yesterday. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.